或者新加坡嘅，新加坡沙拉嘅，我新加坡嘅。
First built in 1840, the original Coleman Bridge was only the second bridge across the river. It was designed by and named after G.D. Coleman, the first superintendent of public works, who also designed the first government house at Fort Canning Hill, the Armenian Church, and the former Parliament House. This is not the original bridge, which was rebuilt in 1865 and again in 1886. The current structure, modelled after the 1886 bridge, was built between 1986 and 1991 to accommodate greater traffic flow. Singapore's first bridge, built in 1819, stood at the current site of Elgin Bridge. Elgin Bridge was built with the purpose of connecting the Indian community in the north and the Chinese community in the south, and was named after Lord Elgin, Viceroy in India, in 1862.
Yeah, for 25 Singapore dollars, you can go to the world highest alfresco bar, right at the very top there. One altitude, one reference place, world highest alfresco. Okay. Cities like Dubai, Shanghai, world highest bar, Singapore. This is even more higher than Marina Bay Sands, right at the very top. Yeah, I got videos about this boat key here.
A vital part of Singapore from the earliest colonial days, Clarke Quay was, for over a century, the backbone of trade. This was where thousands of bumboats delivered their precious cargo, where enterprising traders and businessmen congregated, and their fortunes were made. Just opposite the spot where Sir Sam Raffles, founder of modern Singapore, first landed, this area has remained vital throughout Singapore's history. Most of the businesses were confined to the south bank of the river, with the north bank reserved for government purposes. There is a good reason for that. At its widest point, the south bank swells to resemble the belly of a calf, an auspicious creature to the Chinese. With leading banks vying for space and physical dominance in this financial district, you'll find two well-known buildings in the vicinity, UOB Plaza 1 and 1 Raffles Place, both 280 meters tall. 1 Raffles Place, originally OUB Centre, was, at the time of its completion in 1986, the world's tallest building outside North America. In the 1980s, with the river cleanup well underway, it was decided to preserve the historic charms of Clarke Quay's go-round action houses. Today, it is a popular spot for food, recreation and pubbing, especially for those who work in the area, now primarily white-collar professionals.
I fully recommend it for you to go right at the very top. World highest alfresco. I know you got the money, I hope you can start to go.
Is the oldest bridge in Singapore still in its original form. Built in 1869, it was originally planned to be named the Edinburgh Bridge to commemorate the Duke of Edinburgh's visit, but instead was named after Governor Sir William Kavanagh. The grand building just beyond Kavanagh Bridge is the Fullerton Building, now a 5-star hotel. It was built on the site of the former Fort Fullerton. The fort had been heavily criticized for years. Merchants felt strongly about a possible military target being located so close to their businesses. So, The fort was eventually removed and replaced by the post office in 1874. The merchants were sure to breathe a sigh of relief. The existing structure, built in 1928, served as the home of various government offices
On your right, you will see the
and
famous
the general
statue.
post office till
The
almost
famous
the end of the century.
Naughty boy.
In 1996,
The final
the
boys.
works were commenced, with the Clarke Quay Hotel opening in December 2000. In its early years, the building was considered the mile zero of all the roads in Singapore, the point from which all mile markers were measured. It was, in effect, the very center of Singapore. The Anderson Bridge holds the distinction of being Singapore's first steel bridge. As with earlier bridges, the structural steel components were made in Britain and shipped here. During the Japanese occupation of World War II, the severed heads of criminals were displayed on the bridge as a warning to citizens. In 1987, there was a grisly reminder of this violent past. The skeleton of a man was found by a maintenance worker while he was crawling between steel girders. The bridge is still open to traffic and once a year serves as part of the route of the Singapore Grand Prix night race.
Yeah, that's what it's famous for, these two bridges. Formula 1 every September. Yes, this bridge also they go. They went Singapore fly. Every September. I see you again in September. Jangan lambat. Nanti orang cari susah.
Built in 1997, the Esplanade Bridge serves as part of the Singapore Grand Prix circuit. It offers great views of Marina Bay and is often crowded with pedestrians during festive events such as fireworks displays, a fact which led in part to the construction of the Jubilee Bridge. It was Singapore's first Prime Minister, the late Lee Kuan Yew, who first suggested the construction of the Jubilee Bridge. During a visit, he had observed that the walkway along the Esplanade Bridge was narrow and not very pedestrian-friendly. This new pedestrian bridge boasts a walkway 3 times as wide and was named to celebrate Singapore's 50th year of independence. Often referred to as the Merlion, even locals sometimes forget that the famous statue is one of 7 owned by the Singapore Tourism Board. The second, the Merlion Cup, is a small version located just behind it. The fish body symbolizes our history as a fishing village, but where does the lion come from? For that, we have to go back to the 13th century, when the island, known as Temasek or Sea Town, was part of the famous Srivijaya Empire. In 1299, Samurai Utama, a prince of the empire, landed on the island on a hunting trip with his men. He spotted a strange animal, a vast, magnificent creature. Curious, he asked his men what it was, and was told it was a lion. Believing it to be a sign of good fortune, he decided to build a new city here and named it Singapore, which means Lion City. Today, experts doubt that lions were ever found here, and that some Utama saw a tiger, or perhaps an Asian golden cat, a medium-sized wildcat.
Okay, what you see is our original Merlion since 1972. It was installed. Other locations you see Merlion is not original. Maybe Merlion is behind the tree. Everyone would like to go to the front, take pictures, or someone. Then we can see what
1933, Clarke Quay became an important point of landing and departure for Singapore. Ships were anchored in harbour and their passengers ferried to the pier in smaller boats. In colonial times, it was also the venue for New Year's Day boat races, with vessels as diverse as sampans, small flat-bottom boats, and yachts taking part, cheered on by throngs of Europeans and locals. In 2004, with Marina Bay dammed to create the Marina Bay Reservoir, the old pier no longer served its original purpose and was to be replaced. The last bumboat departed in 2006. However, in 2007, Clarke Quay was gazetted for conservation, its structure preserved, and the cast iron red lamps that gave it its Malay name, La Chimera, restored. Today, it is part of Singapore's 14th Heritage Precinct, a reminder of simpler, slower times. Much of the area around you is reclaimed land, and that's what our award-winning Marina Bay Financial Centre sits on. Singapore's total land area has grown by an incredible 25% since the 1960s by the process of land reclamation. Earth from hills, the seabed, and from other countries has been used to create more usable land area. Though this process started during the colonial days, it has been taken to another level since. Compare a map of the islands in the 1950s to a modern one, and the difference is striking. Did you know that we are sailing not on seawater, but on freshwater? We are now in Marina Reservoir, created by damming the mouth of Merlion Channel. The reservoir is Singapore's largest, fed by the Singapore River, Clarke River, and Rochor Canal. Singapore has long relied on neighbouring places for fresh water, and the reservoir is part of plans to achieve water self-sufficiency by 2061. Overturning a long-standing ban on casinos was a controversial move in the mid-2000s, without which we wouldn't have the Marina Bay Sands Integrated Resort. Designed by renowned architect Roche Safdie, the stunning structure was, on its completion, the most expensive building ever constructed, more expensive than even the 829-metre-tall Burj Khalifa. At the top, its unique cantilevered sky park boasts breathtaking views. The lotus flower-shaped structure next to it is the Art Science Museum, venue for touring exhibitions of art, science, technology, and culture. Visit the fair at night to witness Marina Bay Sands' spectacular laser show.
juga main kartun lah. Baik kan aku main kartun. Baik aku.
Okay, okay.
Of whopping 2,250 meters, it offers spectacular views of the bay and the city skyline, and has quickly become a favorite spot for evening strolls. At 165 meters tall, the Silicon Flyer was the world's largest observation wheel at the time of its opening in 2008. It offers unparalleled views from its 28 air-conditioned capsules. At the apex of the 30-minute ride, visibility extends to up to 45 kilometers. In clear conditions, you can see parts of Malaysia and Indonesia. The float at Marina Bay, also known as the Marina Bay Floating Platform, is the largest of its kind in the world. Designed as a temporary replacement for the National Stadium, which was being rebuilt, it can accommodate 9,000 people, with 30,000 more on the non-floating portion. Originally designed for the 2007 National Day Parade and to be used for 5 years, its use continued.
Share view. We just taken one last year, 9th of August, National Day. Lots of people fireworks. As a never used for Formula 1.
Delays in completing the National Stadium. Its official name is Esplanade Theatres on the Bay, but this centre for performing arts is officially known to locals as the Durian. If you've ever
Yeah, that's
seen
right. The king of fruits, durian. Yeah. It smells like hell, but tastes like heaven. So, the king of fruits. Have you tried? Must It's good for cardiovascular health.
golden fruit, you'd understand why. It houses a 1,600-seat concert hall, a 2,000-seat theatre, studios, outdoor performance venues, and an exhibition gallery. There were initial concerns that the enthusiasm for the arts centre would fade, but these fears proved unfounded. In 2014, the concert hall was named one of the world's 15 most beautiful concert halls by Emporius, a leading database for building information.
35 years ago, I got the first taste of durian, and I become just a client. I got the wrong ones. Now I know how to pick the good ones. Oh iya, lu makan apa tadi? Lu makan apa? Mana beli? Rumah.
much of its life, it housed the offices of government departments and was known as Government House. It was renamed Empress Place Building in 1907. On our right is the spot Sir Stamford Raffles first set foot in Singapore, marked by a white statue of the man. Though he is known as the founder of modern Singapore, he spent very little time here, staying only 10 days on his first visit. This white statue is actually a relatively recent copy of the original bronze unveiled in 1887 at Padang. That one now stands nearby, in front of the Victoria Concert Hall, having been moved in 1919. To our right is the seat of Singapore's government, Parliament House, where members of our parliament debate and pass legislation that shapes the country's future. Opened in 1999 to replace the old Parliament House, the building features a prism-shaped top, a modernized version of the dome designed by a former president of Singapore. The old Parliament House building just next door, but not visible from here, now serves as a multidisciplinary art venue known as the Arts House at the playing an active role in the local creative scene. It's amongst and visual and literary arts, film and performing arts.
Yeah. Okay, continue back the story. Our Parliament House. Instead of Parliament House, the big house is our Supreme Court. Like a flying saucer. Careful. So if you walk further down, around 20 minutes walk will be our famous Raffles Hotel. You have the Singapore sling. The cocktail, original. Singapore sling. You drink the cocktail, then you throw the donuts on the floor. Then you fight always. It's legal.
The colourful building you see towards the right, the old Hill Street Police Station, was the largest of the police buildings put up during that period. It also had accommodation for policemen and their families, as well as a prison. Yes, if you were a policeman then, your family might live in the same compound as the criminals you put away. Built in 1934, it served as a police station until 1981 and was named a national monument in 1998. Today, it houses several government ministries. Londonau was built in 1889 and named after William H. Reed, a political and social activist. The bridge replaced the 1863 Merchant Bridge, which was too low to allow docklands or traditional riverboats to pass. In years past, it was a popular spot for Tier 2 laborers who would gather to listen to traditional storytellers. In 1991, the bridge was repaired and converted into the pedestrian bridge you see today.
Last one for me. So we got Clarke Quay, further down there, Robertson Quay. Lots of restaurants. I remember 1990 I was here. Only 4 buildings I see. Lots of empty land. Late 90s started to rise. All this. You remember? It's lots of property and empty land. It's changed a lot. After the year 2000.
When you walk through the storm, hold your hand, the light, and don't be afraid of the dark. I'll be there. I'll be strong as a golden sky.